Alright guys, I'm not gonna lie, right now, let me get that set up right there. Right now, things are really weird. Like, life is just like, what is even going on right now? This smoke? Like, what the heck? Almost forgot. Let's go. "2020 has been wild. It's one of those things that it's been a long journey the last 2 years, and that's a whole nother video that I'm working on right now of kind of like why I came out to Portland, why I went to New York, why I came back to Portland after New York. That's a whole nother story, a whole nother video that I'm working on right now. But at least for 2020, it's been a wild ride already. And with the start of COVID-19 back in, I would say February, March, I was working at a company full time, and then right until May is when I was laid off from there. Being laid off isn't easy. And at that point, I kind of started losing who I was and my identity and like just creating work and constantly working just to make work. Don't ever lose sight of your vision. I think that's a big thing that people in the creative field can like be so heads down, like working on their craft and perfecting that they kind of lose where they're going, and they start walking and they kind of just go on this trail of like, this is the easiest way. So whether it's the career industry of working at an agency or working at a brand or a business and working your way up through the ranks, and then before you know it, you're kind of like, how did I get here, and is this where I wanted to end up? And that's, I think, where I was kind of heading. My head was so far down in like just creating and documenting and seeing what I needed to do on the day-to-day, that I just never reminded myself of the long-term goal of like me becoming a filmmaker, me becoming someone who is a creative strategist for either a brand or an agency. Like, that's what I love doing. I love thinking outside the box and working with teams of people. I've been in this weird funk the last like 3 or 4 months where I've done some freelance work, and I'm starting to slowly build a business, and I'm starting to slowly build a brand, and it's a lot. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. In the last couple of months, I've had to take a step back from just creating. I had a friend of mine actually sit down with me and say, like, in order to advance, you gotta have to see where you're currently at. And it's very true. I didn't know what I was doing besides just creating content just to create content. I kind of lost the vision of what I wanted to do video for in the first place. What am I doing this for? Why am I doing this? And how is this gonna help me in my life? Those 3 things are very critical to like asking yourself every single day when you're about to go about your job, when you're about to go about anything in life, relationships, work. I was kind of just aimlessly roaming and not really having a firm belief in like, this is what I do, this is how I do it, and this is how I'm gonna showcase it to the rest of the world. Let's go. That was it. So I just had my priorities all out of whack. My priority number 1 was always work, and that can't happen anymore because it's just not long-term sustainable and it's not healthy. So if you can take away 3 things from this video, it is literally take time to step back. Take time to find your grounding. 2, the time is now. Don't wait. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, because it's not gonna happen. Just, if you're gonna start filming, film now. If you're gonna start your plant business, start now. Just go do it. Don't wait for another year or for another 6 weeks or for another couple months to fine tune exactly what you need to say. Just go out there and start doing it. Number 3, and this one is the hardest pill to swallow, especially for me, is the feeling of being behind in life or behind in your career. Don't feel behind, because you're not. Like, that's a wise tale. It's not true. You are exactly where you need to be in life, surrounded by the exact people that you need to be, and you get to make those daily choices every day of feeling like you're not good enough or you are good enough. That is all in your own head. That is no one's perception. That is no one's telling you to believe that. You will hear it, but you don't have to believe it. So don't feel like you're behind. and I'm talking to myself right now through this camera, it's very hard when there's so many young creators out there, especially in my field of video, that are just amazing and they're making seriously good power moves right now with video. Sit back afterwards watching the videos and I'm like, man, like I'm nowhere near that. I'm still got this to figure out. I've still got this to jump on and work on these sets, and I'm nowhere near like lyrical lemonade stuff, but it doesn't matter. Like, that's not my route in life. My route is exactly where it is right now, and how do I go from where I'm at to where I want to eventually end up. There's no like time in between that of being behind. That's all in your own head. So like, get that out of your head. You're not behind. Don't feel like you're behind, because you're exactly where you need to be, and now you need to go from there. I know this week was a lot. It was very heavy. It was very like, Matt, you've been dealing with a lot. And I say, yes, I know I have. This is me being able to put it out there for all you guys to watch and know kind of like where my headspace is at sometimes, because I'm not good about sharing that face to face. But when you throw a camera in front of me, it's really odd, because usually it's the opposite for a lot of people. They don't like know what to talk about. I don't know when to not stop talking. So that's gonna be now where I'm just gonna stop talking. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe down below. More videos to come, more adventures, more tutorials, more explanations, more just creating.